Hello! Pete's Pax here, and we're back with the commander decks for Bloomburrow. So, we got our sealed case of commander decks here. Open it up, pick one, and get started. I need to get through Bloomburrow so we can start on Shimmering Skies, which just picked up my pre-order today after doing the release. I did not do well in the sealed event today. I went 1 and 2, but it's all right. Can't win them all. So let's see. Got 4 decks this time around. So we have Family Matters, which appears to be Jeskai. Animated Army, which is an unusual name for Gruul, but you have Peace Offering, which is Bant, and then Squirreled Away, which is Golgari. Let's do Animated Army. Make trash, do smash. I like that. Make trash, do smash. Nice. And I like raccoons. Or trash pandas, as they are sometimes affectionately called. Alright, so we've got the envelope of awesomeness, where our deck box is, and our collector's booster sample pack. Nice, we'll put that off to the side, and that gets its own video. So we have, so we got that, 3 more commander decks, then we've got 6 bundles and a 2-player starter deck coming. So we got another 10, 11, another 11 Bloomburrow videos. We'll do Shining Skies before that, though. Alright, so we've got 6 tokens. Got our insert. Got 2 small counters. They're getting... These are getting smaller and smaller, I've noticed. And they keep giving us fewer and fewer of the counters. That's strange. I wonder how long that'll continue. Probably as long as we allow it and keep buying stuff, but it is what it is. Alright, so we've got our insert. On one side, we have Bellow, Bard of the Brambles. I really like his art. Or their art, rather. Shouldn't assume. That's really cool art. Got a little blurb on them. Then on the other side, we have more about them. Some ads, overview of the commander rules, and playing the deck. Very nice. So we'll put that off to the side. We'll pull in, and then get to star of the show, the deck. In the world, where's the alt tab? See it? We'll just grab a seam and start pulling. There we go. Trash can's all the way over there. Alright. Let's zoom in a bit. Refocus. We have Bellow, Bard of the Brambles. 1 red-green for 3/3 legendary raccoon bard. During your turn, each non-equipment artifact and non-aura enchantment you control With mana value 4 or greater, it's a 4/4 elemental creature in addition to its other types and has indestructible haste, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's pretty sweet. Let's see if we can get that to focus just a little better. There we go. Like, that's actually kind of a cool commander to try out. Windseer, Scouring Maw. 3 red-green for a 6/6 elemental wolf, or legendary elemental wolf with trample. Enchantment spells you cast from your hand have Cascade. Huh. That's a thing. Domri, Anarch of Bolas? Wait, what? Is this supposed to be in here? One red green for 3 loyalty legendary planeswalker Domri. Creatures you control get +1/+0. +1 add red or green. Creature spells you cast this turn can't be countered. And then -2, target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. I wonder if that's supposed to actually be in there. That's... Huh. Excuse me. Itali, Primal Storm. 4 red for a 6/6 legendary Elder Dinosaur. Whenever it attacks, exile the top card of each player's library, then you may cast any number of spells from among those cards without paying their mana costs. Nice. Prosperous Bandit. Oh, he's got a little hat. 2 and a red for a 2/2 Raccoon Rogue with Offspring 1. First strike, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create that many tapped treasure tokens. Okay, that's pretty cool. Pyreswipe Hawk. 3 red for a 4/4 elemental bird with flying and haste. Whenever it attacks, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. Whenever you expend 6, gain control of up to 1 target artifact for as long as you control Pyreswipe Hawk. You expend 6 as you spend your 6 total mana on casting spells during your turn. That is a trigger. Alchemist's Talent. 3 and a red for a class enchantment with 3 levels. When it enters, create 2 tapped treasure tokens. So it basically kind of pays for its own level 2. 1 and a red, treasures you control have tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 2 mana of any one color. So it doubles up the mana production of them. And then 4 and a red for level 3. Whenever you cast a spell, if mana from a treasure was spent to cast it, this class deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to each opponent. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I think tossing Goldspan Dragon into here would be pretty good. Berserker's Onslaught. 3 red, enchantment, attacking creatures you control have double strike. Nice. Outpost Siege. 3 and a red, enchantment. When it enters, choose cons or dragons. Cons at the beginning of your upkeep. Exile the top card of your library until end of turn, you may play that card. Dragons, whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield. Outpost Siege deals 1 damage to any target. Nice. Reign of Riches. 3 red, enchantment. When it enters, create 2 treasure tokens. The first spell you cast each turn that mana from a treasure was spent to cast has Cascade. It's pretty sweet. Chaos Warp. Used to be much better under the old commander rules, but still not bad. 2 and a red, instant. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, put it onto the battlefield. Very nice. And if you're running very few instants and sorceries, you can do your own stuff. Sunbird's Invocation. I believe this is a reprint that had been called for quite a bit. But 5 and a red, enchantment. Whenever you cast a spell from your hand, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is that spell's mana value. You may cast a spell with mana value X or less from among cards revealed this way without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Nice. Starstorm. Oh, that's an old classic. X red red instant deals X damage to each creature. Cycling 3. This was so good back in the day. Gratuitous Violence. 2 red red red. Enchantment. If a creature you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead. Very nice. Warstorm Surge. 5 and a red. Enchantment. Whenever a creature you control enters, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. I've noticed that this whole deck is slightly miscut. Lotus Cobra! Hey! I think that needed a reprint too. 1 and a green for a 2/1 snake with landfall. Whenever land enters, or land you control enters, add 1 mana of any color. It's nice templating too. Evercoat Ursine. 4 and a green for a 6/5 elemental bear with trample and hideaway 3, hideaway 3. That's right, it has hideaway twice. So when this creature enters, look at the top 3 cards of your library, exile 1 face down, then put the rest on the bottom in a random order. Then do it again, because it has it twice. Whenever Evercoat Ursine deals combat damage to a player, if there are cards exiled with it, you may play one of them without paying its mana cost. Excuse me. Apologies, I have a case of the hiccups. Alright, Brightcap Badger. Badger. 3 and a green for a 3/4 Badger Druid with an adventure side called Fungus Frolic, which is 2 and a green instant adventure. Create 2 1/1 green sapling creature tokens. The main spell. Each fungus and sapling you control has tap at a green. At the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Now see, this should have been in the standard set. This would have been fantastic. Trail Tracker Scout. 1 and a green for a 1/3 Raccoon Scout. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. When you expend 8, return up to 1 target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Nice. See, again, there are so many cards that get burned as far as design space goes to go into these commander decks that should just go through standard. It's so dumb that they burn all this design space on commander when they don't have to. Thickest in the Thicket. 3 green enchantment. When it enters, put X +1/+1 target creature, or put X +1/+1 counters on target creature where X is that creature's power. At the beginning of your end step, draw 2 cards if you control a creature with the greatest power or tied for the greatest power. Again, should have been in standard. Ghalta Primal Hunger. Very nice. 10 green for a 12/12 legendary Elder Dinosaur. You wanted to say dragon for that. The spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control. Trample. Asika's Chariot. 3 and a green for a 4/4 legendary artifact vehicle. When it enters, create 2 2/2 green cat creature tokens. Whenever it attacks, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. Crew 4. Very nice. Unnatural Growth. 1 green. Enchantment. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. Greater Good. Nice to see that get another reprint. 2 green enchantment. Sacrifice a creature. Draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power, then discard 3 cards. So, if you do Ghalta, you draw 10 cards. If you let Unnatural Growth double it first, you draw 20 cards. That is silly. Kodama of the East Tree. 4 green for 6/6 legendary creature spirit. With Reach, whenever another permanent you control enters, if it wasn't put onto the battlefield with this ability, you may put a permanent card with equal or lesser mana value from your hand onto the battlefield. Partner. You can have 2 commanders if both have partner. Grathama All-Devouring. 3 green for a 10/8 legendary worm. Other creatures you have, when this creature attacks, you may have it fight. Wait, what? Other creatures have, whenever this creature attacks, you may have it fight Grathama All-Devouring. When Grathama leaves the battlefield, each player draws cards equal to the amount of damage dealt to Grathama this turn by sources they controlled. Huh. That's an interesting one. Rampaging Baloths. 4 green. For a 6/6 beast with trample and landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you may create a 4/4 green beast creature token. Nice. Bootlegger's Stash. This was such a hyped card in Streets of New Capenna, and then it just did nothing. 5 and a green artifact. Lands you control have tap. Create its treasure token. Nice way to store up mana, too. Just often is too slow. Primeval Bounty. 5 and a green for enchantment. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you gain 3 life. It does a little bit of everything. Hey! Gilded Lotus. 5 mana artifact. Tap for 3 mana of any one color. Simple and clean. Spine of Isha. Ah. I used to love playing this in Vintage. This was such a fun card back then. Back when this was a Vintage viable card. 7 mana artifact. When it enters, destroy target permanent. When it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand. I used to use this alongside, oh, I don't know, Smokestack. Yeah, I'm gonna sack this and then put it back into play. Pretty much every turn. Temple of Abandon. It's the red-green temple. Enters tapped. You scry 1, taps for red-green. Carplusion Forest. It's the red-green painland. Taps for colorless, taps for red or green, and you deal 1 damage to yourself. Exotic Orchard. Taps for 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. You know, I'd really like to see Reflecting Pools get a reprint in Commander sometime soon. Sheltered Thicket. It's a mountain forest that cycles for 2 and enters tapped. Nice. Game Trail. It's one of the peak lands. When it enters, you reveal a mountain or forest. If you don't, it enters tapped. Taps for red or green. Raging Ravine. Enters tapped, taps for red or green, and then 2 red-green. Until end of turn, it becomes a 3/3 red and green elemental creature with, whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It's still a land. This used to be one of the primary win conditions for Jund in Modern. Oh, how times have changed. Copperline Gorge. Enters tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. Tap for a red or a green. This is one of the fast lands. I think this is actually standard legal right now. Not entirely sure. I don't recall if that I don't think that rotated. Mossfire Valley filters a colorless, or filters a mana of any color into red and green. So it's like a signet on the land. Cinderglade. It's a mountain forest that enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Rootbound Crag. Enters tapped unless you control a mountain or forest. Taps for red or green. Mosswort Bridge. This was the hideaway land that was actually worth something for a while. Hideaway 4. It enters tapped, taps for a green, and then green and tap. You may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. If creatures you control have total power 10 or greater. Great with Galta. Blasphemous Act. 8 and a red, sorcery. Costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Deals 13 damage to each creature. Very nice. Great with Stuffy Doll, too. Just a fun card. Or, Boros Reckoner or any of the other, redirect things. Llanowar Lone Speaker. I think this is also in standard right now. 1 and a green for a 1/3 elf druid. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Tap, target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with haste until end of turn. It's still a land. Activate only as a sorcery. Very nice. Tender Shoot Dryad. This would have been nice to have back in standard. 4 and a green for a 2/2 Dryad with Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the city's blessing for the rest of the game. At the beginning of each upkeep, keep in mind that's each upkeep, not yours. Create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. Saplings you control get +2/+2 as long as you have the city's blessing. Very nice. Goreclaw, Terror of Kalsima. Or Kalsisma. 3 and a green for a 4/3 legendary bear. Creatures you control with power 4 or greater cost 2 less to cast. Whenever it attacks, each creature you control with power 4 or greater gets +1/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. Nice. Just a good way of punching through. Path of Discovery. 3 and a green enchantment. Whenever a creature you control enters, it explores. Very nice. There was a combo that went infinite with that, and I'm trying to remember what it was. Decimate. Actually, there's several that go infinite with it, but Decimate. 2 green red sorcery. Destroy target artifact, target creature, target enchantment, and target land. You can't cast a spell unless you have legal choices for all of its targets. I like that they finally put that on the card. So that it was always an annoying judge call. Rolling Handsphere. Oh man. This one's still just... This makes my brain hurt. It's Mirror Battlesphere, but hamsters. It is a 7 mana 4/4 artifact vehicle. It enters... It gets +1/+1 for each hamster you control. Whenever it attacks, create 3 1/1 red hamster creature tokens. Then it deals X damage to any target where X is the number of hamsters you control. Prove 3. That hurts my soul. Teapot Slinger. 3 and a red for a 3/4. Raccoon Warrior. See, this is one of the cards that's actually from Bloomburrow. Menace. Whenever you expend 4, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Nice. Explore. See, this could have been in standard. You could have printed Explore back into standard. That would have been great. 1 and a green. Sorcery. You may play an additional land this turn. Draw a card. Farseek. 1 and a green. Sorcery. Search your library for a plains, island, swamp, or mountain and put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. This gets duels. That's the big thing that it's important for. Cultivate. 2 and a green. Sorcery. Again, should have been back in standard, but you know, we can't have nice things. 2 and a green. Sorcery. Search your library for 2 basic lands. Reveal those cards. Put one in the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. Then shuffle. It's good. It's just good, clean ramp. Grumgully the Generous. 1 green-red for 3/3 legendary goblin shaman. Each other non-human creature you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter. So if it wouldn't have any, it gets 1. If it would get 1, it gets 2. So on and so on. Wandertail Mentor. Red-green for 2/2 Raccoon Bard. This is also from the main set. Whenever you expend 4, put a +1/+1 counter on this. And then tap, add red or green. This was just really good in the pre-release too. Just a very good card. At least in limited environments. Thought Vessel. 2 mana artifact. You have no maximum hand size. Tap for a colorless. It's a staple in Commander for a reason. Arcane Signet. 2 mana artifact. Taps for Commander's color identity. Also a staple. Wooded Ridgeline. It is a mountain forest that enters tapped. It's nice. Nice and clean. Does what it says on the 10. Big Score. 3 and a red. Instant. As an additional cost to cast it, discard a card. Draw 2 cards, then create 2 treasure tokens. If you can cost reduce this, it is even better. A Braid. Oddly enough, still in standard because of Lost Caverns of Ixalan. 1 and a red. Instant. Choose 1. Destroy target artifact, or deals 3 damage to target creature. Just good removal. Rampant Growth. That's where we get the term ramp from. 1 and a green. Sorcery. Search your library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Sakura Tribelter. It does Rampant Growth, but it's a creature. 1 and a green for a 1/1 snake shaman that you can sacrifice it to search your library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. Beast Within. 2 and a green instant, destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 green beast creature token. And just clean design. You can tell which cards are from before 2016, or actually closer to pre-2018. Let's just say that. By counting the number of words on it. Most of the time you'll be right. The fewer words it has, the more likely it's from before 2018. And that makes me a little mad every time I think about it. 4 and a green for a 4/4 beast. It's Garrick's pack leader. Whenever another creature you control with power 3 or greater enters, you may draw a card. Keep in mind the may. Harmonize. 2 green sorcery, draw 3 cards. See? Clean, simple, does what it says on the tin. Card is almost 20 years old. Garrick's Uprising. 2 and a green enchantment. When it enters, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample. Whenever a creature you control with power 4 or greater enters, draw a card. This is from like 2013, I think. Something like that. 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. Gruul's Signet. 2 mana artifact. Converts 1 mana of any color into red-green. Burnished Heart, and that is just an adorable art for it. 3 mana, 2/2 artifact creature elk. 3, sacrifice it, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. It's kind of slow these days, but still solid ramp. Hedron Archive, 4 mana artifact, taps for 2 colorless, and then 2 tap and sacrifice it, draw 2 cards. Belwar Stone, old classic, originally from Legends. A 2 mana artifact, tap, add 1 mana of any color that a land and an opponent controls could produce. Just a good way to ramp. Grand Dynamo, 4 mana artifact, taps for 3 colorless. Just good clean card. Soul Ring, we all know what it does, but 1 mana artifact that taps for 2 colorless. Mind Stone, 2 mana artifact, taps for colorless, 1 tap and sacrifice it, draw a card. Talisman of Impulse, it's the red-green talisman. Just to say, 2 mana artifact, taps for colorless, then you can tap it for red or green and it deals 1 damage to you. It is the pain land of mana rocks. Terramorphic Expanse, same as Evolving Wilds. Fetches a basic, puts it into the battlefield tapped. You tap and sacrifice it to do it. Path of Ancestry, enters tapped. Tap to add for your commander's color identity, or 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When it shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. Rural Turf, it's the red-green Karu. Enters tapped. When it enters, return a land you control to its owner's hand. And taps for both red and green. So you get 2 mana when you tap it. Evolving Wilds does the same thing as Terramorphic Expanse. Forgotten Cave. Enters tapped, taps for red, cycles for red. Tranquil Thicket, same but in green. Command Tower. Taps for your commander's color identity. It's a staple for a reason. Reliquary Tower. You have no maximum hand size, taps for colorless. Then we have some basics. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mountains. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 forests. Now, I'm going to say something that may be a little controversial, but why aren't these full art? Why? Why? Someone tell me. It does not make sense. In the year of our Keranos, 2024, almost 2025, why are they still putting this style of basic land into the commander decks? They know people just throw these, just like throw them in a box and never look at them ever again. Just, why? Give the people what they want. Border or full art lands. The word eludes me. All right, we have some treasures. see 5 treasures with families on them, and 3 of them are saplings. One of them is the Prosperous Bandit token, and then one of them is a beast. Nice. We have a hamster token. That is also a sapling. We have 2 cat tokens. These are pretty nice to go with that Asika's chariot, and they are beasts on the back, 4/4 beasts specifically. We have 2 hamster tokens. One is a beast, one is a city's blessing. Very nice. Then we have a turn order reminder card and popular formats. So it'd be nice if they focused on this a little more, or, you know, on these 2 a little more than this, but that's just me, I guess. All right. Well, thank you for joining me on this adventure with, which one is this again? It's the one that sounds like it should be a Golgari deck. With Animated Army, make trash, do smash. And apparently there's a hidden message of take them out with the trash, which is a multi-entendre. All right. Yeah, so that was fun. I got to rant a little bit. Sorry if I got too salty for you. Just, it is what it is. But, yeah. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff for the algorithm. It really helps us out. Keeps me motivated and making videos like this for all of you. So, much appreciated. I do have fun, even if I get a little grumpy sometimes. You know. Until next time, stay awesome. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.